Alrighty then, it's time for a Jungle Zack game, and oh my god, I'm so happy to be able to say that again. Which one? So yeah, his ult got reverted, and I'm so hyped for it. So the the grabbing ultimate, the one they just reverted from, it wasn't bad. It was actually very strong, but there was a lot of things I hated about it. First off, it wasn't good in solo queue or at least lower divisions because players didn't understand it. So when you made a really good play, most people didn't know what was going on because they rarely see Zac, they rarely see effective ultimates, and they just kind of dumb sometimes. So yeah, but at least his Q, the new Q he's got, the grab one, is really damn good. In fact, I pull off a really good gank here. Fully charge my E, wait for Karma to get in position, slam her, grab her with my Q, and pull her together, and basically kill her from full health. Then you're going to see a lot of shenanigans with Kayn and Karma. So in that meantime, I'm going to talk about the ultimates and what it means for Zac. So the grab ultimate, the one they just removed from him, it wasn't bad. It was one of the stronger initiation tools. In combination with his E at least. But its thing was for me, gameplay wise, is that it took away a lot from Zac. Now it's strong, but you combine it with your E, and so you have to basically forcefully use it with your E. Like there's no other way to deliver this ultimate. You go in, grab people, and that's it. You slam somewhere, and then you Q in hopes of doing something, and drag the fight wherever you land. Not bad, but it was just kind of very linear. The other ultimate, the bouncing one, it allowed you to basically dictate how the fight happens in that spot. You go in with your E, you bounce about and decide where you land, and then you control that space. You could either bounce away to safety, so then you can jump back in with your E in a different spot or to grab somebody again, whatever, or you bounce away through the enemy team trying to knock everyone about, or you bounce through them to land on the other side, so you sandwich them between yourself and your team, or whatever. Essentially, you get what I mean. Control a lot of space. But like right here, also, you're going to see me shepherd this Nautilus, basically using my ultimate to position myself in front of him as much as I could, so he couldn't use his hook to save himself. That's what I mean with that ultimate. And the thing is that it's still stronger if you use it with your E, but you could use it whenever you felt like it. I've done plays in the past where I'm close to the enemy team, so I flash ult them, so it bounces them about, and then I jump around like a madman, knocking whoever I want, and then immediately short hop my E onto somebody and dealing quite a bit of burst damage in combination with my other abilities. And essentially, that is pretty good. The other tool of it was that you could use it as a kind of forceful, impromptu bodyguard ability. The enemy team jumps on you, like it jumps on you or one of your teammates while you're nearby, immediately ult, obviously knocking and doing one of those short knockups or knockbacks and stopping them in their place, and then you just bounce circles around your team or whatever, forcing the enemy team to disperse, get knocked about. It's same, pretty much that. It's just much more flexible ultimate. So it's sort of like the grab ultimate put all the eggs in one basket, initiation. So it was strong, but it was just that. The old ultimate still can be used for initiation, less stronger, but it can also be used for different ones. And that was one of the best things about Zac. Jungle Zac in the past, and still technically right now, was one of the most powerful versatile junglers in the game. His clearing wasn't the fastest, but it was fast. Like if you were to give him a grade from F to S, video game grades, he would have an A. He would have a strong A. His ganking was an A plus. Because it was still pretty predictable and reliant on your levels to become stronger, but it was still really strong. His dueling was competent, mostly with his old Q. His new Q ain't really that good for ultimates, for duelings. And he was less golden reliant than a lot of other junglers. A little bit more reliant than other tanks, but less than most junglers. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is, old Zac was a jack of all trades, master of none, but a strong contender for all of them. And he also had a lot of unique traits to him, mostly that he was a combo caster tank, and he was a very good pure tank, no mono reliance. So his item builds were a lot more less punishing for him to, have to force himself to take. In the past, having to have a lot of as a tank, you had to have a lot of different stats. Usually your items would give it to you, but you still had to get them in order to be competent. Like I remember playing Jarvan and having mana issues. That was pretty grim. And I know the game's changed a lot, but still back then for Zach, it was a pretty good boon. Anyways, so yeah, so having that was pretty good, a flexibility unlike any other jungler in the game. And I was really depressed, or at least sad about the change with his ultimate because it took away some of his flexibility. It definitely made AP Zach weak, which was one of the sad things that Zach always had this sometimes viable AP build with his bouncing ultimate, and also with his ult Q, that you could use in case you picked Zach early and then everybody on your team for some reason picked no AP. So you could do something like this and burst the hell out of people. And the changes to his Q and his grab ultimate really pretty much killed that build. At least now it's somewhat back. I still don't think it's fully back because his Q isn't all that great for that. But yeah. But I will say though, as for Tank Zach, having the old ultimate plus this grab Q is really goddamn good. I mean, his old Q was really strong too. Even though it was very, plain and honestly boring, it was really useful for attrition kind of duels, and it was what made him at least a competent duelist. So, maybe Riot will bring that back if this Zach once again just kind of doesn't fully go where it needs to be. But right now, I am happy. I can do some fun plays where, like right there, I initiate kind of stupidly. I don't die for it, mostly thanks to my ultimate. And then I'm going to initiate it again anyways and, sort of throw away the second chance at life I had. But yeah, essentially put, I do love just being flexible. There is a great feeling I have right now because I was having this issue where for when I'm picking champions, there were very few good first pick champions right now. Mostly, of course, you're relegated to just picking whatever's strong in the jungle, but I tend to be one of those people who really likes to make their champion choice matter. And if I was first pick, I would usually pick either like Kane, someone who can at least be strong regardless of your team, or Jarvan because he's pretty much one of the most versatile junglers in the game. But now I feel like I have Zach back, and again, having that stress taken away from me from not having to deal with my teammates not understanding my ultimate is a pretty big deal. By the way, the camera's gonna go crazy here, mostly because while I was recording, I kind of slipped. So forgive me for that. But what was happening. We got a good counter initiation on the enemy team. My ultimate bounced around, and Nasus got to slam them. Yeah, at this point, you can tell what was going on. I wanted to focus more on talking about Zach than the game, really. You got to see me pull off some good ganks, some good uses of my ultimate, really sexy, and I will full on admit that some of these ganks and kills were really, it didn't really matter that I had whichever ultimate I had, but some of them did. Obviously, the top lane gank was really well put with that with the balancing ultimate, but it's important to at least have that tool back into my kit. Just being able to just survive, essentially. I just hated the grab ultimate so much because it just never felt fun to use. So, yeah. I wonder, though, if they'll ever do something like this for other champions, a revert to some older abilities, some older ultimates. Like, they already did say that Rise is going to get some changes again, so I'm wondering if they're going to revert some stuff of his or something like that. So, yeah, Rise is up for another rework. Volibear and Fiddlesticks are the ones that are coming next with their major reworks, although I think this year we're getting Pantheon next after Mordekaiser, so it's kind of an exciting time for people. And one of the funnier parts is that, Mordekaiser was one of those champions I used to love playing, then they changed him, and now they changed him again, and I'm wondering if I'll be back to my big metal boy. So, Also, you might be able to hear right now sirens outside. Somebody probably started a fire, but whatever. Zach is the one who started the fire. He's really cool. And this might sound, kind of sad or funny, but like I actually have played certain games here as Zach, and the main reason I stopped uploading Zach games is because whenever I played him, I could do really well. Because you saw, I adore Zach ganks, how effective they can be. But pulling them up, but it doesn't matter how good you do early game. When the mid game rolled around or whatever, those grab ultimates I could pull off, even if they were good, they weren't always responded well by my team, and we would lose anyways despite the good early start. And it just sort of just was very heartbreaking, and I don't want to upload any games. So I did play a lot of Zach games. It was just they were never worth uploading because they were miserable. So, if anything, I'm glad to have Zach back. And who knows, he might go back to be one of my favorite champions again. Because his rework really took that away from me. But now, I'm happy. Yay. And if you liked this video, remember to give it a like. And if you aren't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure to hit the little bell up there somewhere so you actually get notifications to my videos because YouTube and stuff.